follow-up video on the new rating system, and there have been some very, very valuable comments sent to me via text, via email, through my channel, and I think we need to elaborate a little bit more, because I feel that there's quite a bit not explained by Uber. So for example, if one passenger reacts to your trip and shoots you 4 stars or lower, at that, and under 5 stars basically, this is when this screen is prompted, right? At that point they have to elaborate, right, on one of these many issues which I'm going to discuss now, and explain, why did I give this driver a 4? Why did you get a 4? Why did you get a 1, right? Now, a 1, I've seen it, and again, I'll use the same terminology as I did in my last video. It's some fuckwit, excuse my language, excuse my French, but that is completely misbehaving, is completely drunk, obnoxious, having a tantrum, and he's going to say, you know what, this is the guy, or this is the girl I'm going to get back at you. You know how I'm going to get back at you? I am going to screw you with a 1-star rating. We've seen it. Let's all admit it. We've seen it. We know who that arsehole is, right? And we're driving, and we know that rating is coming. Okay, just praying it won't be a 1. But I've had those guys in the car, you know. They have their own little issues, and guess what? They're not dealing with them. You are the recipient of the crap going on in their life. This is how they punish you, okay, for their own drama, sadly, right? And I've done my master's in psychology. That's one of the courses that I did. So to understand passenger behavior is a huge, huge plus. You can control your tips that way. You can control your ratings. If you know how to read a passenger, and we're the very best salespeople, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, the drivers, we get the opportunity to meet different characters every day. So we get to analyze what story they're trying to sell us through their 4-star rating. So hear me out, follow me. I know I'm going a little bit off on a tangent here. Cleanliness, navigation, price, pickup, route, driving, service quality, other. Price? WTF, right? What the hell? What is Uber bringing in price? They dictating the price. So the guy's going to hammer me with a 2-star rating because he sees, you know what, I'm going to give it to him because of the price. I'm not happy about the price. I shouldn't be paying that much, right? That is wrong, right? This little box here, price, Uber really needs to elaborate on that. There should be a drop-down button, right? Now, could it be he or she is upset because you influenced the price going higher, because you screwed up with the navigation, you drove extra 4 or 5 miles, they should have been paying $9, they end up paying $11.20. Is it you, the person that caused that extra $2.20 that shot you a 4, a 3, or 2 1-star, and they said price? This is such a grey zone, my friends. Please comment on this one or write to Uber. They need to really work on that. I don't think that was very well thought out, right? Because it's going to give this dude, this passenger, an opportunity to manipulate his ratings a little bit, because he's going to blame it on the price, right? You don't know. Are they happy with the price that, unhappy with the price that Uber set, so you get punished? That's what they press? Or is it truly you? If you really know, yeah, I screwed up. Okay, that's valid, that 4 stars valid, I screwed up. I missed that exit because I was daydreaming, right? And I took a longer route and had to come back. Am I responsible? Take ownership, right? Take ownership that you could have influenced the price, pushed the price up, and you deserve your 4 stars. Take ownership of that. I can. But if I feel like I've done nothing wrong, and I've done everything by the book, and I've taken them the fastest way, right? And I've maybe even shaved off some time or some miles or some feet, and I'm giving them the very best service, why the F am I getting penalized on the price? ask yourself that. Cleanliness, and I'm going to go through them one by one because I thought it would be a great opportunity to elaborate a little bit. And these are real things that you and I, the drivers, face every day, right? Now, if you're taking a yellow cab, hands up all the people that have taken a yellow cab, whether it's in New York, whether it's in Paris, wherever it's London, right? There's no rating system, so they don't really care if their car smells like a frickin' ashtray, right? Or if the previous guy has smoked a joint in the back, in the back seat. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a joint. I'm just saying in this business, smoke, vape, whatever it is, doesn't belong here, right? Now, but in the taxi business, there's no rating system. But with us, we get rated, right? So if some idiot decided to light a cigarette in the back while you're driving, he said, excuse me, sir, ma'am, strictly no smoking allowed in my car, okay? Okay, extinguishes it, throws it out the window. Guess what? 5 minutes later, you're picking up the next guy. That smoke is lingering in the air. The next guy is going to get pissed. You're getting a 2-star. They picked up some smoke. Cleanliness. Well, comment box underneath, car smelled like smoke. Right. We need to be able to elaborate and be able to send Uber feedback after we get feedback. Right? That's an extra step that needs to be built in there. Right? We need to be able to respond to their little love story, don't you think? I think Uber, if you're listening, think about that step. We need to be able to take a position or on that rating we just got, right? Because it's a little unfair if I'm going to get dinged because some other, again, arsehole decided to light up a camel in my car. Anyway, navigation, I addressed this in the last issue. If you're constantly seeing that you're getting dinged on navigation after navigation and people are giving you 3, 4 stars, 4 stars, navigation issue, he went a roundabout trip. I think he wasted another 5 minutes or drove extra miles, was not happy about it. That's why I gave him or her a 4-star. Now, I could sort of see that happening with Waze. A lot of people like Waze, but with Waze it'll take you weird ways through the neighborhood to maybe shave off a little bit of time, not necessarily shave off miles, but shave off time. And a lot of people don't like it. There's a lot of people that love Waze, and there's a lot of people that hate Waze. So if the complaint every now and again is navigation, and the guy goes in the message box, hey, he led me through all these little side streets in a neighborhood, and I think I paid more than I should have, right? I got to really analyze that issue and say, you know what? Maybe it has to do with Waze. Maybe I do need to switch over to the Uber navigation system. Maybe I need to switch over to the Google navigation system. Will things get better in 2-3 weeks? I can monitor it. Yeah, you know what? Suddenly I'm not getting that complaint anymore. Or I'm interacting a little bit better with the client, with the passenger, and I say, hey, there's a preferred route. I'll gladly take it, right? And they say, no, it's okay, just stick with the navigation. That's cool. So communication on navigation is king. Just put it out there. Most of the time, 99% of the time, they say, that's fine, just follow the navigation, that's cool. That's how they sort of answer that question, right? Pickup. You and I know things can go horribly wrong with the pickup, right? Just because that GPS system is spinning out, or because they might be positioned behind that building and it's giving you a read that the person is in front of that building, you're driving around, they getting frustrated, you getting frustrated, they trying to call you, you trying to drive, you trying to answer, and you can hear it in their voice. Hey man, where are you? Where are you, man? I've been waiting now for 3-4 minutes. Where are you? We're walking up now, we can't see you. Okay, that's when a pickup goes horribly wrong. Guess what? He or she will have that on the back of her mind, his mind, and guess when you get to pay for that? The moment they drop you off. Damn fucker. excuse me, oh man, I'm in a swearing mood, but the damn fucker gave me a hard time during my pickup. 3 stars. Sucks, but does happen. The route, this is all about communication. This is truly, truly about communication. You got your phone, your nice big phone up on the dashboard, they can see it. If they object to anything there, you know what, they need to express it. Hey buddy, your phone's showing us going over that and that highway. You know what, 30 minutes later, that area is going to be jammed. I prefer we go that way. Talk about the route. Don't make it a whole story. Go there briefly, talk about it. Hey, nav system says take that route. Are you cool with it? Or do you want me to take another route? Right? Yeah, you know what? I like to go around the 110, 101, shave off 5 minutes. Done, buddy. Sure, we'll do. Resolved. Driving. Look, if you are sticking to your lanes, if you are not tailgating the person in front of you and stopping every time they stop, and if you're not erratically flying through traffic, you should be smooth. You should get your 5 stars every time. But I've heard from so many passengers, especially my passengers that book me through the limo services, that, you know, I just found it too erratic with Uber and Lyft, because I get this type of driver, that type of driver, this. I just want consistency. I want safety and I want consistency, and hence I'm booking you over and over and over again. And through my limo company, that client becomes my client for life. Why? Because, you know, back in Europe, back in Germany, I paid over $2,500 to do my driver's license. Rain driving, night driving, snow driving, hail driving, highway driving, speed driving. You learn how to drive properly and safe. There are very, very, very few accidents in Holland, Germany, Belgium, because there's a vigorous system that they put you through. And I'm not saying it's better than in the US. It's just you're spending a lot of money getting qualified training, right? So I apply that on the US highways and streets. I drive safe. I keep my distance. I'm not braking all the time. I'm doing smooth transitions. I'm signaling. And people will comment about that, right? They will comment afterwards, 5-star, super safe driver, really felt. And I get that a lot, and you know, and I'm proud of it, right? And hence, I have so many repeat clients because of my driving style. Some guys think they've just come out of the movie Fast and Furious, right? And switch lanes in, out, in, out. The passenger gets so freaking nervous, they're already clawing into the leather seats. They are so scared, right? You think, hey, you're the superhero. Wow, I'm going down the outside cutting, and hey, you know what? I shaved off 3 minutes for you. Yeah, but you drove like a fucking fool, right? Okay, so please pay attention to the driving. Service quality, you know, I mean, you know, your platinum service, silver service, all different types of service. If you're in a restaurant and you're getting the very best service, that person usually gets 20-25% tip, right? The reward for good service in the rideshare industry is very, very easy. It's 5 stars and hopefully a nice tip, right? Anybody that understands what quality service is, with a hairdresser, a restaurant, driver, doesn't matter what it is, good quality service needs to be rewarded with a good quality tip. Say no more. Now, if they want to shoot you a 2 or a 3 and they say service quality, you know, their level of service quality may not be yours, or yours may not be theirs, right? So, you know, hopefully you're aligned, that your service matches their expectations, and they rate you high, 5, and they tip you high. But some people expect higher service quality than others. I tell you where this is very, very common, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Uber SUV, Lyft Plus, Uber Lux, Lyft Lux, maybe Uber Select. The people expect higher quality, right? And that's why I always say, and I get lots of people say, well, how can I earn the most money? Yeah, you can earn the most money in Lux and SUV if you know how to master those categories, right? But start here. You know, that's where I also started. Learn the grassroots. Start up in UberX, Lyft Regular, Honda Civic, Prius, right? Cool. And work your way up, right? Because every time you take a jump up, guess what? They expect more service. Why? Because they are simply paying so much more, right? They expect a clean car, a big car, a luxury car. They expect the condiments, the mints, the waters, the basics, maybe magazines, newspapers. The higher you go up that ladder, if you're driving a Tesla or a 750 BMW or a high-end Mercedes Maybach, I've driven that car around a few times, don't like it, too big, too bulky, but they expect all the bells and whistles and the highest level of quality service. UberX and that you can get away with a lot because not many people are measuring you by your service quality. Oh my God, this one here opens up a can of worms, because if they hit you with a 1, they can write you a story here, a love story. He did this, she did that, that's why they deserve a 1 star. Now, okay, let's just say they wrote you this whole frickin' letter. I don't know how many characters fit in that, right? They've got to elaborate, right? There should be a checking mechanism with Uber. People that actually read those remarks, right? Why they chose other. And then Uber has to be fair to us. They have to be fair to us first because we make them the money, right? And then Uber has to ask himself, am I going to let that 1 or 2 star stand? Or am I going to ignore this crazy venting message? Because who knows, that person could have just had a shitty day and you should not be punished. You should not be the recipient of their punishment, right? So, that's where, this is awesome. I mean, this is a fantastic, it says it even says, on this one to 1455 Market Street, that's the headquarters in San Francisco. So maybe it's one of their guys that was taking a trip there and they just created the screenshot. Add a tip for David, right? Please select 1 or more issues. Is cleanliness, navigation, and route. Maybe there were 3 factors why you got 2 star. Maybe they clicked off on everything and they're just a very petty, idiotic passenger, right? Now, add a tip for David. Look, add a tip for David. They've hit you with 4 stars. They've dinged you for navigation. And then down here, the person might say, and I must still add a tip for David? Well, hopefully we're dealing with a decent human being, right, that has some sort of understanding. Hey, you know what? I could have done that mistake, right? So I'm giving him a 4-star rating. I'm not quite happy. He doesn't deserve 5 stars, but I'm still giving him a tip. And maybe that tip is 10% or 15%. It's the same as in a restaurant. If I'm getting mediocre service from a waitress or from a waiter, I'm not going to punish them with 0 cents. They've done a lot of work. They may have not done it to my service quality, and I give them 10%. So this is cool that this is still in there, right? The add a tip for the driver, right? But any prick or arsehole, well, I'm not going to add a tip for David. Screw him. He deserves a 1 star. So in this system, as Uber gets the feedback, as you get the feedback, there still has to be this intermediate, in-between platform where both you can respond and both where Uber can analyze. And give some feedback. They have to dedicate some of the help staff to this, right? Because I feel it's such an important factor, the rating system. It can really upset people, upset drivers. Anyone that prides himself with high ratings like I do, right? Mine's high 4.96 in fact, right? Yeah, did I screw up once in a while? Yes, I did. Maybe on pickup, maybe on navigation. But I know you can't fault me for service quality. You can't fault me for driving. You can't fault me for cleanliness. You can't fault me for price. You can't fault me for other. Maybe I didn't make the best navigation choice there, or maybe I screwed up a little bit on the pickup because the GPS was all whacked, right? So, that's going to affect my rating. But There are rooms, this is a huge step up, right? Just like when they introduced the tipping platform, huge step up. Rate and tip, rate and tip, rate and tip. This forces them to rate and then tip, right? But there's still one level. There's still one echelon, one level beyond this that Uber could still bring out to perfect this platform. That's my opinion. It's only my opinion that I'm sharing with you. But again, I love feedback. I learn every day from the feedback. If you think I'm a know-it-all, I'm the first person to say, I don't know it all. I'm learning every day. I learn so much every day from the feedback that I get from all you wonderful drivers. And you know, periodically, once a month, I write my report to Uber. I send reports to Lyft management where I think changes need to take place, what I think is not working well. You know, why not, right? If I have the attention, which I do, why can't I be a conductor and transmit that information across to them to try and make our lives better? That's what I'm about, right? So I'm always out there fighting and batting for the drivers. I respect the passengers. They pay my price. Do I think the passenger is king? No, I don't, right? Is the passenger, is the customer always right? No, I don't. Why? Because it's often a lot of personal stuff going on in their world that they dump on you. And it could be in a restaurant, it could be in a car. So the customer, I'm of the impression that the customer is not always right? And I can also quickly add that the driver is not perfect.